Hey y'all. Happy Monday, happy Monday, happy Monday. And I am so glad to finally be able to talk to y'all again. Hey TikTok, hey TikTok. Yes, and I wanted to come show my face in the place because I have missed y'all dearly. I don't like this screen right here. But hello, okay. So I got something that I wanted to share with y'all. Y'all already know how I am. When I have something I be thinking about, because sometimes I be thinking. I know I don't always be right, but I think I got a little bit of sense. But I hope and pray that everybody had a blessed and prosperous day. I had a good day. But now it's raining down here. And it started pouring down here. It was good. The temperature was like 78 today. And that's right. I don't like this screen right here, y'all, but I'm gonna let y'all have that. But all right. So y'all always looking for me for inspiration and encouragement, right? I got one for y'all. But listen, this came from the Daily Bread, but I ain't gonna read the whole Daily Bread. I just wanna say something real fast, right? And it's a scripture from John 15. Wait a minute. John 13, 51 through 58. But this one say, a new command I give you. Sound like a new command. Because you know it's 10 commandments. And I can't even tell y'all 10 of them, to be honest. But so therefore if I can't tell y'all 10 of them, we know we ain't following all 10 of them, right? But on this piece of paper right here, it say a new command, right? All right. So I give you a new command, and that's to love one another as I have loved you. So that means if I forget, and I mean, like, you can't really forget about them, but so the first 10, if I ain't did right, but I can get a new one starting right now. Or this what you telling me today. And that's to love. And that's something we don't do a lot of. Love one another as I have loved you. Now we got some real big problems right there. Because the way that he has loved us and the way he has took care of us and the way he has picked us up and saved us and forgave us, I don't think I could have do that for my sister or brother sometimes. And I'm just telling the truth of the matter, right? But love is the greatest command. And so that's what I wanted to bring to y'all today. That we got to start loving each other and seeing about each other and treating each other right. I ain't gonna get into forgiveness and stuff like that because y'all know that goes deep, especially when I get to talking about forgiveness because that's not easy. Forgiveness is not easy. They can say it is. They tell us to forgive, but they don't tell us how to forgive when you've been hurt. They don't tell you how to forgive when you've been crossed out. They don't tell you that. They just say forgive. But I need some more to go with that because it's not real easy. And especially when you have to constantly look or be reminded of the event or the action of the person. So let me finish what I say because this John 13:35, and I want y'all to take that with y'all. Short, simple. Just take that with y'all. Yeah, sure don't. I know. Because forgiveness is hard. We don't. We don't know how to forgive. We don't know how to love. We don't know how to honor. We don't know how to respect. Some of us don't. Not all of us, but some of us don't. So I'm talking to the majority, not the handful that do know how to. Hey y'all, how you doing? I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Hey, Sister Gordon. Hey, Pamela Norris. Hey, Anna Williams, 3842. Don't come with all these crazy names. Diane Cookie, Tina Brown, Odell Duncan. Hey, and I love y'all. Katrina Miller, Angela Popper, Vera Smith, Tina Brown. And y'all know I ain't been on Facebook because we still fighting with them. So TikTok and YouTube is where it is because I'm ready to talk now. Y'all know I had to go through a be quiet season. I had to go through a healing season. I had to go through a grieving season. I had to go through then I got mad. I had to go through a mad season too. All that go together. If they say it don't, I don't know where they at. I don't know what kind of life they living in and what kind of events that they done had. Cause you could be trying to do the right thing and then people keep doing stuff or you keep getting hurt or people keep walking out the door and leaving you or people keep blocking you and stuff like that. That will start hurting you and affecting you. And it seems like you just go down, down, down. Soon as you think you finna get back leveled up or right. I don't like this screen, y'all. What I need to do? I had to go get a new phone because my phone was hacked. We already went through the pages being hacked, but my phone had got hacked. That's why I couldn't go live on TikTok. No more. When I was pushing it, it was getting stuck and it wouldn't let me say nothing or nothing. So I had to go. Once I figured out it was the phone that was hacked, Apple iPhone. Yeah, that ain't all that. Apple iPhone 16 got hacked also. So I had to get another phone. So now I can go live. That's for TikTok. I just had to make that special announcement. And I'm still glad that I still be like kind of posting little stuff without talking because it still brings people to me because I had another lady that was on TikTok, y'all. And I'm going to say this because I want y'all to be familiar when we come out or whatever or do some interviews or lives together because I had a post on TikTok and this young lady was on there and she was like, check your messages or whatever because I went through an incident that was similar to yours or whatever. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna check my messages or whatever. And y'all know I don't really be on these apps like that much. So I caught it though. I caught it. So I ended up calling her back, y'all. But she's from Georgia. And she's a little bit older than me, but she called me big sister. I'm big sister now. But anyways, but she was telling me that she had got shot in the face and shot in the back. And stabbed in her hand 36 or 34 times or whatever. And so when I first got the message in the messenger, I just looked on her page to kind of see how she had looked or what was going forward or what was going on or whatever. But, like I ain't see no mark and that. So I was like, dog, like when this happened, you had your surgeries or what. I ain't know. That before I had verbally talked to her or whatever because her face ain't messed up like mine, as I say, or whatever. But she done had so many surgeries in her hand, and she's still having surgery in her hand or whatever. And so she want to get together and, talk about domestic violence or I said, just everyday life as being a female and things you go through and living life after being shot and the things that you think about and the regrets that you have and see, I always thought because remember in the beginning of my process, I ended up forgiving my husband and I ended up burying my husband, which was actually the same person who had shot me in my face. And so, see, I don't like this filter on here because you can't really see my dent. You can see it back there. That filter is gone now. I need to think off. I don't do filters, baby. Y'all need to see me raw and uncut. It is what it is. Hello, I'm not trying to be pretty. Never was trying to be pretty. We discovered that about 4 years will be my anniversary on the 19th. It will be 4 years. 4 years. It seemed fast. but it seemed long. When you're going through, it seems like forever. But when you come through, it's 4 years. It's 4 years. You feel me? But so in the beginning, I had ended up forgiving my husband and burying him because our situations was a little different. Everybody's situation is never gonna be the same. We might feel the same about certain things. We might have went through some of the same things and you may understand me, but your situation will never be the same as another person. Period. So anyways, but her boyfriend is still alive, but he's in jail. And so she's getting ready to, they got a court date coming up. And so I asked her one of the questions that y'all used to always ask me. Like, I asked her, was she going to court? But, by me forgiving my husband and burying him, people was like, if he was still alive and you forgave him, do you think y'all would get back together or stuff like that and stuff? And so I didn't really have an answer because that would never happen because he was gone. So that was never a factor to really think about because he was dead, you know. But I did think that if he was alive, it would have been hard for me to be going back and forth to court. You know what I'm saying? And seeing him and stuff like that. So when I asked her, she did say that she was not going because she's not ready to face him yet. And I can understand that, you know what I'm saying? So we just been talking about a lot of different stuff. And so she got a little platform on TikTok. And so I said that I didn't, mind going live or doing some things with her. So I do thank God for, even though that I have been off the scene, that I'm still where I need to be when I need to be there. You know what I'm saying? Because I got invited to a conference in Texas, Dallas, Texas, and then I got one in Silicaca, Alabama. So that was a blessing. But yeah, so that's what I wanted to say about that part. Who is this? Marshall, good evening, good evening. You're right. I don't know what I'm right about because I wasn't talking no more. What you talking about the surgery and being pretty. Oh, no, because I told them, no, y'all know that after I got shot and stuff, I never had no more surgeries. The doctor never touched me anymore. So I think that my situation was more of a forgiveness, betrayal test. You feel me? And her situation might be something else. God might be trying to get your attention for something else or to show you something else or to show somebody else something else. Except God just used me to show the world. You feel me? He just allowed me to take the world with me on my journey. So I went live doing everything after I was instructed because I had never went live before. So in doing that, y'all saw the big hole. Y'all saw my eye matted together. Y'all saw my mouth wired together and twisted. So y'all saw God do everything. Y'all saw him open my mouth. Y'all saw him closing my hole in front of the mirror. Y'all saw my eyes start leaking and then start opening and it was swollen up and all that. So he just used me to be a vessel to let y'all know that he is still real and to let y'all know that he is still in the blessing business and that he's the same God that he was back then in BCTC and DC2, that he's the same God today. And so he just used me for a new millennium blessing. And so I just took it like that. But I don't, like I told her, I don't think my recovery would have went so well had I not forgiven. Had I been still holding a grudge or been angry or upset and cussing and fussing and had, then I don't think he would have moved so graciously for me. But now, finna be 4 years later, I have decided to go make me a doctor's appointment though, because I don't have to live with the scars of my past or be reminded of my past. I think I got the memo. You feel me? I think I got the memo. Because like I told y'all before, I was doing everything that I wanted to do. Hello? I was doing everything that I wanted to do. Yeah. hmm And so sometimes we be hard headed. So God has to get our attention in different ways. Sometimes he can't just tap you on the shoulder and say, sit down, sit down. So you know how y'all have no children and someone be hard headed, you have to go, hey, get the belt and all that. So I want no hard headed children. So my chastisement and my attention breaker was different, you know. But like I said, now I ain't got no cheap to give. You feel me? That was enough for me. I'm through. I'm tired. Lord, what you want me to do? What you need me to do? Because I can't lose nothing else. I ain't got nothing else to give. So that was my breaking point. That was my turning point for my life. That was my life changing event. And it was also the event where I personally met God. And I personally know what God can do and will do. Because when you hear no pulse and end up waking up, that's a different kind of feeling. You feel me? And laying in the bed and listening to these doctors say, you got to have this surgery, you got to have this surgery, you're going to be paralyzed, you 100% nerve damage, 100% paralyzed. That's hard to listen to that and still have faith. That's hard to have faith and talk about what's going to happen or God going to do this and God going to do that and you don't even see God. Hello? So going through, don't be easy as it seems. So I just be trying to tell y'all some things that I had to go through and some things that I learned so it can maybe help y'all and save y'all from going through so much or so, well, how I handled it or how I had to deal with it or what helped me. You feel me? Because I had to find a new way. My whole life changed. It wasn't normal anymore. Whatever normal may be to you. Because your normal ain't my normal. Because I was used to fussing, cussing, getting high, partying, whatever I want, just say that's my normal. That's what I did for so many years. So being quiet, being humble, not partying, not associating with the same people, not getting high, that was different. Different and uncomfortable. And change is uncomfortable. And that's why a lot of us don't change. Because we be stuck in our ways and stuck in what we're used to and don't want to try or do nothing new because it don't feel good. It don't sound good. Or it don't look good. So, we just going to try to do a little better. And I think that in the end, love conquers all. Love conquers all. And that go back to the scripture of loving each other. Because love, when you love somebody, you make sacrifices for them. Sometimes you even do things that you normally wouldn't do because you love them. and you want what's best for them, or you want them to do better. So you'll make sacrifices, or you'll go out on the limb. So I just wanted to come and show my favorite what favorite flowers? Oh, well, I just wanted to come show my face in the place, and I just wanted to come and share that scripture with y'all for real. I really didn't come to just talk, or break it down, or come with a lesson or a point of view, except love. That's it. That's all. Love, 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 love through it all. And even I was put in a situation where I should have been could have been angry. I could have been mad. I could have been bitter. I could have been upset. Because a lot of people slash the whole world. And I already told me how stupid I was, how dumb I was. I was the dumbest mother around here. Ain't that much love in the world. She got battered woman syndrome. This, that, and the third. But what the world got to say now? What the world got to say now? 4 years later, because they stopped that probably about after 2 years. After they seen I stood where I stood and I stand where I stand, and I'm not as crazy as y'all think I was. You feel me? But now you see the whole point, what I was trying to make. And people don't like what they don't understand. And that's why they used to get so upset about the pictures at the funeral and the picture in the casket and stuff, because they couldn't understand how I forgave him. And that's what made everybody go crazy. Because we don't have that strength. We don't have that kind of love. We don't have that kind of forgiveness. So how could they understand? I didn't even understand. Hello? I didn't even understand. I told y'all God was carrying me, so I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know. I didn't have that kind of strength to forgive like that, to go on like that, to push forward like that, to still be smiling and happy and laughing and playing with my mouth all wired up and big old hole in my face. I'm coming on here talking to y'all, laughing, playing, moving, jumping around, driving, and everything. That wasn't nobody but God. I ain't got that much power and strength. I've all been R.I.P. over there on the t-shirt somewhere. Yeah, that what I had did. That what I had did. You feel me? But God stepped in and he reached down and still picked me up. He reached down and still saw fit for me to live. He reached down and still saw fit to give me another chance. So I can't do the same things that I have always done. I can't act the same way that I have always acted. Then I'll get the same results. And if you get the same results, what have you learned? What was it for? If you're doing the same thing and you still ain't learned that, and you still, where we going with this? Where is we going with this? So something got to give. And it was me. I had to give. And to myself. And I'm not pointing no fingers at nobody for nothing, even in your relationships, even in your situations. And that was the ultimate. That was my husband, the one that was supposed to shield and protect me, the one that was supposed to love me, the one that I do to death do us part. And you hurted me the most. That was the ultimate betrayal. And now I got to bury you? Nah, Lord. You playing. I know you playing. He funny. On everything, he funny. He funny. And I be talking, when I look up like that, I'm talking straight to God. Cause we got to talk. I'm not understanding this. You gotta straighten it. You gotta tell me something. You gotta tell me something now. I need to understand what is you doing. I need to understand what are you talking about. Cause this ain't making no sense. I'm the victim. I was done wrong. I. But no, 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 no. I started looking in the mirror. That's what God placed me in front of then. He sent me home to change my own goals. And you can't change your own goals without looking in the mirror, can you? Hello? Hello? But everybody else was looking at the hole on my face. And I was trying to fight the hole that was in my heart. Hello? I was trying to fight that I didn't get another hole because I've been a bitter bitch. Excuse my language. I've been a don't give a. I've been not caring. I've been not forgiving. I've been scratched you out the list type of person. So I can't do that no more. So I'm fighting not to get another hole in my heart. I ain't talking about this hole in my face, because I can't do nothing about that. I'm not a doctor. I'm not God. I'm not nobody. The only thing I can do is go to my appointment. Hello, somebody. That's the only thing I can do is go to my appointment. That's it. I ain't got no control over what happened, how it turned out, no surgery, no nothing. But I got control over this right here. And that's what the whole message is. That's what the whole point is. You got control over this. And once you get control over this, then you get control over that. Because that mouth is something serious. Our mouth, yeah, that's what I said. I said, our mouth is something serious. You talking about pulling a gun, shoot somebody, shit, our mouth and killed them already. Hello? Because some of them don't even play. Some of them got some filthy mouths. When they go low, we go to hell. Hello? Somebody. So I ain't been killed you with my mouth. Well, I told y'all before, I ain't never had to block nobody. They blocked me. Hello? I make you get out of the phone. I make shit up. I'm just talking about me. I ain't talking about y'all. I know y'all got it together. My bad. My bad. But I'm just talking about me. You feel me? So I had to start looking in that mirror. And when you look in the mirror, you don't see nobody but yourself. I don't see him in the mirror. I don't see her in the mirror. I don't see my children in the mirror. I don't see nobody but me. So I ain't gonna be accounted for but nobody but me. So I got to worry about my responses, my first actions, my mouth, my tone, my attitude, my. Whew, you think that was good? You think that was easy? Shh, try it. Try it. And tell me how long that go before you go left. Before you go from 0 to 10,000. Add something and then turn around and get lied on too. You know you finna go off. Now somebody asked me, how is my son? Where you at? Hi, Akira. I thought you were that's Michelle over there. Them my number one butterflies. Them butterflies been following me since the beginning. You hear me? And I love them dearly. I love all my butterflies. I love everybody. I love all my people. But they hold a special place in my heart because they was here with me from the beginning. Through my good days, my bad days, my sad days, my laughing days, my confused days, my fussing days, my upset days. And don't think that funeral was easy either. Because that was my first time seeing him since I had been shot. I didn't know how I was going to act. I didn't know how I was going to respond. I didn't know what was going to happen. All I knew was I had to be obedient and do what was right. So y'all saw the outside, but y'all didn't see that I flipped out 3 times in 24 hours. Y'all didn't see that I canceled the funeral 3 times and they had to call me literally the day of the funeral to make sure it was still going. But I made it. I dressed him. I released the matter. I did the obituary. But God gave me strength. We was on the phone, just like we talking now. I was like, look, I don't know what to write. Look, I'm up here asking my father, I'm asking for comment what to write on this paper so I can be in order. Because I don't know what to write. Shoot. Look, end up finding the old poem that nigga had wrote and put the poem in there. And I ain't put no picture in there but a picture of my son. I ain't even put a picture of me and him in there. Because it wasn't that type of party, baby. We ain't finna be fake and phony. We gonna be real and we gonna be nothing at all. So I put the picture of my son, firstborn, at the hospital. And he was holding my son up in the air, and that's the picture that I put in the obituary. They was sitting up there telling me I sent 5 pictures. I was up here telling my folks, I said I started sending a picture of a Grey Goose bottle, because that's what he loved. And that's what he was drunk on that night when he shot me, that Grey Goose bottle. He loved liquor. And that was the truth. I just couldn't find that picture. I started to go on there and Google me an image and send it. But I didn't want to do that to my son, though. But I have gotten better. And I think that in the beginning, like I said, I had to forgive him. So I forgave him before I actually forgave him. Yeah, I get that. I'm going to say it one more time. I forgave him before I actually forgave him. All right. And I take that with you. All right. And that's what we have to do sometimes. We can forgive. We're supposed to forgive, but that don't mean that our heart and our mind matching up. It ain't matching up. It ain't adding up. But I forgive you because it's the right thing to do, and this is time ticking away. But I didn't actually forgive you sincerely because I still had some issues. I still had some questions. I still had some feelings. I still had some memories. But I forgave you. And I didn't talk bad about my husband. And I still ain't came on this live and talk bad. I didn't complain. I still ain't came on here and complain. You can't find a video of me complaining. You can't find a video of me talking bad about him in no disrespectful way. Now, I cussed the family out now. That was the funeral. After the funeral, I cussed them out. But I have always tried to be truthful about my feelings and everything that was going on because it's the only way we're going to be able to heal. We got to be truthful with ourselves, first of all. And some of us ain't even ready to accept the truth. Hello? Some of us can't even deal with the truth or handle the truth. But that's another topic too. That's another topic because sometimes the truth hurt. Because we ain't always right either. What we say ain't always right and what we do ain't always right. But we'll get to that another day. But I love y'all. I love y'all. And then when Coco asked me, okay, so how my son doing? Let's get back to that. Okay, my son is doing exactly what he want to do. Hello? My son is doing exactly what he want to do. And ain't that what I told y'all that I was doing in the beginning of my video? Exactly what I wanted to do. Now you put whatever with that you want to. And that's what you doing. Hello? But the devil can't have my son. And the devil can't have my family. And he going through his thing. And he going through his teenage. He just turned, well, he's 17. I ain't gonna say just turned there because he'll be 18 in August. But you got to remember, he was like 14 when this happened. 13, finna be 14. Because I had to teach my son how to drive and everything early. Because my son had to help me. And I thank God that my son was there for me in the time when I needed him the most. He might be smelling his ass right now. That's what I said. And he might be doing what he wanted to do right now. But he was there for me in my greatest time of need. And I thank God for that. And I thank God that, and I'm thanking God that he will return to his senses. Yeah. But he's just being a average clown right now, you know, an average 17-year-old clown right now. You know what y'all children doing. Same thing. Same damn thing. That's what I said. That's what I said. Yeah. So that's how that went. And yes, that surprised the heck out of me. That hurt me more than anything when he walked out my door. That hurt me more than anything. It hurt me more than this gunshot wound. I think that hurt more than my grandma passing at the time because it was how it was done that hurt the most. So I had all that on my plate at the same time. One lick after another, one lick after another. And that's how it come. And that's how we be. Just like I said, it seems like you be trying to get level, and then boom, something come out of nowhere. And it'll take you under further than you was in the beginning. Or take you under further than you was in your last depression. Or take you under further. Yeah, I told y'all I got to the point I said, Lord, why you just didn't let me die at the hospital? Because I know life got to be better than this. This ain't it. I done lost everything and everybody. And so I ain't have nobody but God. I ain't even go sit on the chair at a therapist or a psychiatrist. So I ain't even have an outlet to express. And they had hacked my page and I wasn't even going live, so I had totally shut down. And I knew I was in trouble then. Because when we shut down and go into isolation, we in the danger zone. It's bad for us mentally and it's bad for us spiritually. Because one thing I have also learned about that, that's when the devil try to attack you the most because he done got you off by yourself. Yeah, he done got you off by yourself now. At least when I was going live, I had the world praying for him. I had people praying for him. You feel me? I had my grandma praying for me. Now she gone. Everybody just gone. So don't shut down. Whatever you do, don't shut down. Don't go into isolation. Don't pull back. Even if that's what we used to. That's how we used to doing. That's what we have always done. We think that's our safety net. That's how we handle things. Now sometimes we have to take a step back. But not no long step. You can take a step back, but don't fall in the pit. You can take a step back, but don't fall in the pit. And don't stay in the pit. Hello. Don't stay in the pit because it's going to be harder to come out. And it's going to be harder to come back. And it's going to be harder to push that button. But I said, how I cannot encourage somebody when I ain't even encouraged? I don't even feel like it's going to get no better. I don't see no better. So I had to build myself back up. And it took time because being alone ain't easy either. That ain't for the weak. Being alone is not for the weak. Forgiveness is not for the weak. Going through is not for the weak. Doing the right thing is not for the weak. And they can write about it, preach about it, and talk about it as much as they want to. But y'all ain't going to the in-between. So when you give me that scripture, you need to come with something else with it. I need a breakdown. Hello? Somebody. Don't just tell me to forgive. Tell me how to forgive. Don't just tell me how to. I need to know how. Because I'm lost in the sauce. And I done fell out the deep end. Now I'm further down than I was when I first got shot. Now, when I first got, I still was laughing and playing. Look, I still had love and people around me. I still had my grandma, I still had my son, I still had my daughter. Then everything just started falling out. Cry me a river. Cry me a river. And I said, yeah, the lady got shot in the face. Yeah. She said, cry her a river. Save all that. We ain't finna sing them songs no more. We ain't finna wallow in that no more. Look, my eye out. Crazy. Yeah, we just went to the doctor last week. Told my eyelids still don't close all the way. Oh, I don't know what to do. I be sitting, I don't know. I ain't got nobody in bed tell me. So the doctor surprised me with that. Told me all the way out. Y'all remember that? Boom, got slapped in the face. I know my eye ain't closed. I didn't know that. Look, I'm just, but they thought me out. But so they went to recommending the plastic surgery again last week by my eye for the eyelid to close. So I said, well, if they do the plastic surgery and close my eye, I might as well get my face filled. And that's what we were talking about when I was talking about that filter thing on my face. Yeah, y'all thought I had forgot. We went right back to it. Yep. Yeah, and I said, well, if I allow them to touch one thing, then they might well touch it all and be done. Fix it and go forward in this new season. Just go forward like that. So I'm all right with that. I'm a little scared, but I am going to at least listen to them, and that'll be another journey for us. I'll take y'all on that journey. Our new beginning. But I still got to do some more praying and stuff because I just didn't know. It just, my situation was just different. It was different because they never did, you know, from when I got in the emergency room or whatever. But when I woke up in the ICU, I was never touched again. Except, now I did have to have a surgery. It was like 2 or 3 days later because they had to wait on my custom jaw plate to come back because they had to get it custom made. Now, I did have that surgery in the hospital after I woke up, you feel me? But after I left the hospital and they had the 3 major surgeries planned and all that, and talking about getting the nerve out my neck to get my movement back in my mouth and my eye, my hole and all that, the skin grafts and all that, I never had to do it. I never had to go back because God started closing my hole up and working on me right in front of the world. So my face made me whole. And I ain't used nothing on my face except my grandma holy oil. And we prayed over that oil. And then when grandma passed, I had another fit. I said, Lord, who's going to pray over my oil now? Oh, Lord, who's going to pray over my oil now? And God told me, guess what? Who better to pray over your oil than you? You know everything you praying for. You know everything you asking for. You know every feeling in your body. You know every movement. So who better to pray over your oil in your body than you? That's why he gives all us the authority to move any mountain, anything. We just got to trust and believe and speak it into existence. And I stood on what I said, and I told y'all that God was going to do it right in front of the whole world. And that's what he did. Then when I went back to the doctor, after 3 years, and let them check me, and they told me that I was medically clear, that everything that they was going to do, God had already done it. Oh, that was a whole nother feeling. Cause get what? I ain't know God was gonna do it for real. Not in real life. Look, on everything. I ain't know for real. I'm just telling the truth. I ain't know for real. For real, real. And then son, you been saying for 3 years, and then you go back and the doctor confirm what you been trusting and believing in. The unbelievable. You feel me? That was confirmation. Y'all just don't know how that made me feel. I was like, man, God real for real. He real for real. Yeah. So that was confirmation. So when I be going to church and stuff like that, I'll be trying to be funny, but I didn't meet God at church. You feel me? And I've been in church all my life, even when I was little. But that was because I had to go because of my grandma. You feel me? Y'all know grandma used to take me back to church then. So I had to go 4 days a week. You feel me? So then when I got to a teenager and got rebellious, said, no, I ain't want to go to church no more. I was tired of going to church, so I stopped going to church. You feel me? So then I did my own thing and started living my own life. Then when I messed up, I just yeah, end up in prison, end up in jail, all kind of stuff, man. But yeah, listen. So then, so then I go back to church, just like this happened or whatever. So then when I go back to church, I didn't meet God at church. You feel? I met him in the hospital. Real deal, Holyfield. I met God in the hospital. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I met him in the hospital personally. So I thank God for my grandma prayers and especially covering. But my personal experience with God really started at the hospital. Yeah. And that's what I say and that's what I stand on. So, I love the scriptures and I try to abide by God's word and stuff, but sometimes a lot of stuff that they be saying and stuff, I just can't see how somebody got to go to the altar every week for the same thing. Because if you praying for healing or you go to the altar for healing, and I'm talking about y'all too on this live that be praying over y'all bodies and having sickness in y'all bodies and having problems and stuff, and you go get prayed over or go to the altar or whatever, then it's done. It's done. You ain't got to keep asking God to do the same thing over and over. This time, He don't do it. You got to trust and believe that it's already done. I ain't gotta keep asking the same thing over and over and over. I ain't gotta keep begging and pleading and accept this and claiming this. No, God is my healer. God is gonna close my face. God is gonna be my doctor. God is gonna heal me. And it's so. And it is. And that's it. I'm not coming up here next week for the same thing, and the week after, and the week after. Why? You don't believe? That's another subject. Now, I love y'all. I love y'all. And he told y'all, He gave y'all, I'm talking about the faith of a mustard grain? A grain? That's so little. That's so little. That's why he said, y'all, we had to have. That's it. But I had a crazy, stupid situation. So I didn't have no little bitty situation. I had an unbelievable, unheard of situation, something that should have been on Lifetime, something I thought I had watched on TV before or something. So I had to have some crazy, stupid faith. And maybe our faith level is different for everybody. But all he tell you to do is have the faith of a grain of a mustard seed. And he also has given you the power and authority to move any mountain in your situation, any problem, any demon, any spirit, anything coming towards you. You have that authority, but we don't take hold to it. And we depend on other people to move our mountain. And that's when I told y'all when my grandma in that oil, and I was so depressed, and I was so sick, and I so wanted to grieve and be in my moment. I so wanted the wallow. I so wanted to cry, and he wouldn't even let me. My blood pressure had been high ever since I had got shot. Going back and forth to the hospital, stroke level, admitting me. All the while after I got shot, 2 years. But when my grandma passed, the thing that I thought was going to take me under, my blood pressure got normal. My blood pressure got normal. And then when I told you I wanted to wallow, and I wanted to cry over that pill all in my oil, that's when I told y'all God stopped me immediately. He said, who else better to pray over you than you? You know what you need. You know what's going on in your life. You know what your heart desire. You know what needs to come to a head. You know better than anybody else. And it all was just an act of faith, because faith without works is dead. Faith without works is dead. Hello? So my act of faith and putting the oil on my face and praying over my face, was just an act of faith. Faith. Putting it into motion. That's it. I told y'all, remember, we came back that time, Thompson. Oh, my face closing up. Thank y'all for that thing, whatever it was. I love y'all. Oh, follow. Whatever I'm saying, follow, like, share. Yeah, that's what y'all do. That's free. Follow, like, share. Heart. Yeah. I forgot what I was saying. I got distracted by the heart. But God dog it, I love y'all though. What I was saying. I forgot what I was saying. But I love y'all. But like, share. Follow. Grand evening, sis. I've missed you, and it's great to see you, and you are well. God bless. I love you, and I missed y'all too, and I am well. I am doing so much better, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. And I thank God for that because it has been a journey. Now I know why they say healing is not overnight. Even though my face and my hole been closed, my mouth been, look, halfway right, and my eye been halfway right, but I can see. This eye got better vision than this eye. This eye got more, her word, stimulants than this eye. This eye got better vision than this eye. And this the eye that was gone. Then I didn't even tell you I lost my smell. When I got shot, I lost my smell for 2 years. Not 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months. No, 2 years. And God gave it back. God gave it back. God gave it back. One night after me, my son, and some butterflies went and fed the homeless people. And I came back in and got some clothes out the dryer. And I be dog if I couldn't smell the fabric softener, baby. I took out running, screaming and hollering. I said, "Lunch, y'all smell this! Smell this! You smell it?" He be like, "Yeah, man." I said, "I can too. I can too." Now I've been smelling ever since. I've been smelling ever since. So can't nobody tell me what God can't do. Look, on my life, you can't tell me what God can't do. On everything, he don't play. On everything, he fine. He fine. I ain't lying, he fine. And he has never left my side. And your side, and your side, and his side, and her side either. He's still right there. He's still right there. All we gotta do is call on him, trust in him, and believe. And I'm a believer. I'm not a Christian. I'm not a saint. I'm not a Jehovah's Witness. I'm not none of them titles. My name is Ebony Mixon, and I am a believer that God can do the impossible, that God can pick you up when you down, that God can still give you strength when you ain't got strength to go no more, that God can heal you, that God can make you whole again, that God can love you when you feel like there's no love left. Even when you stop loving yourself, God still love you. And I know that. And I'm a believer that he can do anything if he took time out to deal with me. Then he took time out to mold me back up. Look, I still look like Ebony. I still look like Ebony. So not only did you create me one time in your image, you created me 2 times. 2 times. So I thank you for that. I thank you for the air that I breathe because I couldn't smell. I wasn't breathing. I thank you for giving me sight because my eye supposed to be gone. I thank you for life because I was out of here. So there's nothing too impossible for him, and there's nothing that you can't take to him. The thing is, we just got to be real. Be real with ourselves before we can be with anybody. Then be real with God because he already know everything. He already know everything. Right? He already know everything. He know the future. He know the past. He know when you're going to be. So he already know everything. So you might well talk to him. Talk to him. I'm trying to tell y'all something. Y'all better talk to him. Because get what? He talk back. You got to be in position to listen. Lean on him. Because he ain't going to let you fall. And trust him. Because his promises are real. And he is a God that ain't going to lie. And with that, I share. I love y'all. I love y'all. And I love y'all. Take the Lord with you, and the rest will follow. Put on your full armor because we are definitely under attack. And we do not wrestle against flesh and blood. We fight against spirits and principalities. And the only way to fight in that battle is through prayer and scripture. And that was very hard, especially coming from a person that was a fighter. So we don't fight with prayer and scripture. We fight with our hands and our mouth. So we already at a disadvantage. Hello? So we got to learn how to fight different. Then maybe things will turn out different. And with that, I share.